We're gonna give you the best exercises that you can use to get shredded for baseball, and we're gonna start right now. Okay, so when we're thinking about baseball, we've got to look at what are we trying to focus on, okay? We want to make sure our shoulders are healthy. We want to make sure we're able to externally rotate really, really well. We also want to make sure that our traps are healthy, okay? Our lats are healthy. We want to have a good ability to rotate our trunk. We want to have stability in our hips. We want to have balance. We also just need to be stronger so that we can apply a large amount of force in a short period of time. So we're going to start this workout off with just doing a standing external rotation, okay? And this is using our Powerlastic Bands. These are available at garagestrength.com. They're absolutely fantastic. You can use them for various different ways for baseball. And one of the best ways is doing various angles of external rotation. Okay, so if we go here, we want to squeeze the scaps, rotate. Forward, squeeze, rotate. This is our strength band. You guys could use a mobility band if you want, but this is a great way to start off that bodybuilding workout. Do this for 2 to 3 sets of 17. Light up those shoulders, try to feel the traps, try to feel the lats a little bit, and that's gonna help you as we build into giving you some key exercises for your upper body and for your legs. Okay, so when we're talking about baseball, a lot of baseball players, because they refuse to lift weights, have crazy shoulder issues. And if we can just fix a little bit of their shoulder issues with some bodybuilding movements, they're gonna be able to throw harder, okay? They're gonna be able to train a little bit more effectively. They're gonna be able to narrow down and have more precise technique in their pitching, in their batting, everything along those lines. And one of the things that we tend to see with baseball players is when they're doing pressing, first of all, coaches are like, oh, stop bench pressing. You're gonna die if you're a baseball player and you're bench pressing. But one of the things that we'll see is that if we're doing any pressing, they'll pinch their shoulders here, okay? They'll pinch, and then they sort of flail and they'll rotate if they're a right-handed thrower, okay? So typically, what we wanna do is try to train those co-contractions. If we can train a better co-contraction in the shoulder girdle, we can more effectively control that entire musculature so that it fires a little bit more efficiently. So I'm gonna show you what we can do. We can use a band here, and this can be 10 to 15 pounds of resistance. If you're a younger kid, 5 to 10 pounds will do it. And what we'll do is we'll put this around our wrists. And so right as we get set here, I'm gonna show you with a pressing movement, we're gonna focus on our scaps hugging our spine, okay? Now, the cool part here is that we're gonna get set and hug that spine. And this is something that we would do typically on like an upper body power day. This will be done on day 2. So if we're trying to do some bodybuilding, okay, we wanna get this set. We wanna squeeze in our scaps, okay? Squeeze in those scaps and hold a neutral position here, okay? And we're gonna press, and at the top, we really wanna focus on keeping those dumbbells apart. So we're taking a pressing movement and actually incorporating our upper back into that so we can learn how to apply force with our shoulders and our back at the same time. That's a really important concept for baseball players to learn. Okay, so I would do this 5 sets, 7 to 9 reps, rest for about 1.5 minutes, and when you would superset it with that next exercise. Okay, so I mentioned we're gonna superset this. And I am gonna give you some leg exercises too, but pay attention here. If we did that dumbbell bench with the band, we wanna rest about 1.5 minutes, and then we're going to that next exercise. The next exercise, we wanna focus on our forearms, our brachioradialis, okay? Pronator teres a little bit. We want to think about deviation to a point that's going to help us when we're swinging the bat. Also going to help us control the ball a little bit more. We want to focus on lats, a little bit more range of motion. Okay, so what can we do? That's where the high ring pull-ups come into play. So we're going to get set, and I even recommend almost going with like a cobra grip as you get over top to try to really use your forearms as you're pulling. Okay, one of the big benefits of rings is that you can get a little bit more retraction here. Okay, and like bring that chest through at the top. We want to focus on that lat development. So get here, okay, get set, pull, come down nice and controlled. Okay, here, boom. Squeeze at the top. So you would do that for about 5 to 7 reps, rest about a minute and a half, and then you go back to that dumbbell bench. Okay, the next 2 exercises that we're gonna use are gonna be more leg focused. I want to be clear. I believe baseball players should be doing power cleans, should be doing full cleans. Look at someone like Bryce Harper. Learn how to do those exercises. Now we're talking about strictly bodybuilding here. I also believe that baseball players should be front squatting all the time. The best movement to increasing trunk stability and trunk control, and that's a really important aspect behind balance as a hitter, behind balance as a pitcher. Watch someone like Nolan Ryan, Randy Johnson, the big unit back in the day. They had amazing trunk control and stability to be able to fire a large amount of force into the ball, okay? So we've got to think about that when we're training. Baseball players, though, however, are afraid of the weight room. So in that case, because you don't want to front squat and you don't want to do 5 sets of 5 as a front squat, so I'm giving you, that's what you should be doing on that leg power day. Now, as a bodybuilding exercise, what we can do to replace that would be a goblet squat. So if I'm doing the goblet squat, I want to be here and I want to focus on that trunk balance, trunk stability. Here, full range of motion, come back up, okay? And I don't want to lean forward. I want to drive those hands up. Boom, okay? So we want to do that for bodybuilding to get a swole quad pump, 4 or 5 sets of 12 to 17 reps. That's going to help a ton with the ab strength, back strength, and hip strength, okay? It's an absolutely excellent movement. It's not as good as a front squat, but it's still really, really good. Now, the next leg exercise that's going to really be, I believe, the best strengthening movement, this would be on 1A or 2A of the leg power day. Okay, I believe baseball players should almost always be training in a unilateral position. And that's gonna bring us that next exercise. We're gonna do a single leg squat. And we want to train our weak side first. So if we can focus on that weak side first, that's what we're gonna be doing when we're further out from the season. As we get closer to the season, you can start to train your dominant leg first because now you're starting to head into that peak. I also think that as a baseball player, this is something that you should be doing regularly during the season at lighter loads, okay? Just to make sure that there's no structural leaks in your body so that you can maintain that strength as the season goes on. It's a long year. There's a lot of wear and tear. There is a lot of benefit from doing resistance-based training in season just so you can stay healthy, okay? So this is what this is gonna look like. And we're gonna use our single leg squat stand. This is available at garagestrength.com along with our balance pad, okay? So we're gonna get set. And we can put this on our back. You can do it with a goblet position, anything along those lines. We want to put that back leg up, come down, boom, drive up fast. Down, drive up fast. Down, boom, okay? And if we're doing a bodybuilding workout, I would do sets of 7, 9, 12 reps on each leg to really try and blow up that posterior chain. We want to see improvements in the glutes. We want to see improvements in the hamstrings. Okay, that's going to be part of what we see when we have a baseball player who's trying to hit that counter movement as they're coming through and they're swinging. And then because we're in that unilateral position, we have this structural integrity with our abs, that's leading to greater trunk control. So as we're swinging, we have the counter movement and we can rotate through. We have those strong forearms from all this upper body bodybuilding stuff that we're doing. And in turn, we're gonna become a better baseball player. Okay, so we gave you all those different movements, but one of the other aspects around getting shredded for baseball is that we've got to make sure our nutrition is on point. Baseball players, I know I'm calling you out and your feelings are probably hurt by now, but you also tend to not eat the best. So we need to focus on our overall nutrition. There's a couple key aspects that I would recommend. Make sure you're getting about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Carbohydrates, you can have 3 to 4 grams per kilo of body weight. So if I weigh 100 kilos, I'm gonna have about 300 to 400 carbs a day. That's where you want to get most of your nutrition from. I recommend using protein sources like grass-fed beef, chicken, eggs, even using milk, whey protein, supplementing with whey protein, with creatine. Creatine will be phenomenal for developing that bat speed and improving your recovery on those game days, okay? So those are some big factors that come into play. If you want to get shredded for baseball, nutrition has to be on point. Your overall training has to be on point. So if you guys need help with your programming, head over to peakstrength.app. You can pick up our app that focuses strictly on developing you guys as better baseball players. You can pick up Peak Strength for 7 free days of training. If you don't like it, you can cancel at any time. The worst thing that you can do is to do nothing. But start using all of these exercises today so you can continue on your journey to attaining that peak strength. Until next time, guys, peace.